expected due to the lack of oxygen in the dirt. Hey everybody, Hunter here. So I am sitting in the stairwell that leads down to my apartment in the basement. And it is a balmy 98 degrees here in Manassas, Virginia. It is September the 3rd. So I wanted to do this before it got too cold. A lot of people ask, I'm in a townhouse, I'm in a condo, can I clean a skull in a flower pot on my balcony? So I'm gonna kind of prove in this video that yes, you actually can, and no, it doesn't stink as much as you would think. I've got a sheep skull, which we will be cleaning in the flower pot back here, and I'll show you exactly what I do to get it nice and clean. So you're going to need dirt, of course. I went to Home Depot and got some topsoil. So just dirt, nothing in it, no type of fertilizers or stuff like that. And get yourself some type of container, pot, even a bucket will work fine. And put maybe 6 to 8 inches in the bottom of dirt. That way you have enough drainage for your skull. Stick the skull in the bucket, and then you're gonna wanna create a layer around the skull of sawdust. And the sawdust is what prevents the smell from escaping. It kind of neutralizes the smell of the skull, in my experience, as it decomposes. So cover up with the sawdust. You can get sawdust at a pet store, I'm pretty sure, if you don't have access to some. And then put another maybe 6 to 8 inches of dirt above that. And then, just to be classy, I put some flowers in the pot because it was going to be sitting in my front entrance anyhow. You're going to want to keep it watered, keep the dirt moist, that way the bacteria can grow really nicely. And then I threw in some earthworms. Not sure they actually did anything, but it doesn't hurt. All right, well, this is the moment of truth. It has been exactly 45 days, but the weather has turned chilly for Virginia, at least. It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so we're going into fall. So the bacteria is going to slow down quite a bit. There's not going to be much decomposing at this point with the colder temperatures. So I'm going to go ahead and dig it up. I imagine there still will be something there, organic material, especially brains. So look out for some brains falling out. I kind of anticipate that, but let's dig it up, see how it turned out. All right, here we go. Okay, so we just hit the layer of sawdust that you saw me put in, and I'm pretty sure that's the skull, the top of the cranium right there. So this is a moment of truth. All right, so you got some grave wax, which is expected due to the lack of oxygen in the dirt. And guys, I'm being dead serious when I say there is not a whiff of dead smell at all. So I'm gonna dislodge the skull from out of here, being careful not to lose any of the teeth. So a lot of corpse wax in here, down at the bottom. So what I'm gonna do at this point is I'm gonna go ahead and pull the teeth out. That way I don't lose them. Alright, so there are your mandibles, with again a little bit of corpse wax on there, which is fine. Set those aside. And then as you can see, there's the tongue and stuff underneath there. Hasn't quite decomposed yet. And we can pull that out. All right, well, I'm gonna take this out and rinse it down. Okay, that's pretty simple, right? So we have our finished skull here, and as you can tell, there is some staining, but that's to be expected with burying it in the ground. We will be able to whiten it up pretty well with some hydrogen peroxide. This particular skull I did pull out a bit early just because the weather's getting colder, and I wanted to make this video and show you the results of using the Flowerpot to clean it. I will macerate it a bit more just to clean up any remaining organic material in the skull. That'll take about a week to do, and that's simply just water in a bucket with an aquarium heater, and just let that bacteria finish its job. Then I'll move on to degreasing it with dish soap and whitening with hydrogen peroxide. So quickly though, I want to cover a few things about this method. How long does it take? Well, in this case, I did it for 45 days. This burying it in a pot is going to be faster than, say, burying it in the woods, just because your heat is going to be higher and the drainage is going to be better than it would be just burying it in the ground. So with burying it in the ground, I would normally say it's about 6 months or so, warm weather, 4 to 6 months, and I'm gonna say about the same time for this, just so that you get a completely clean skull in the end. Like I said, I'm gonna macerate it anyhow just to clean up stuff out of the skull, but 4 to 6 months, obviously that's going to vary depending on how warm it is, your climate, the type of soil you use, that type of thing. But just rough estimate, 4 to 6 months. And as you can see, there's no harm to the skull by burying it. The turbinates are completely intact. We didn't lose any teeth. The bone is in good condition, and it will clean up really nice. So I hope you found the video helpful. If you've been thinking about giving this a try, or you've just kind of been in a conundrum with how to clean skulls, give it a try. There's zero smell as far as in the pot. Pulling it out, you know, once I flipped it over and there was that little bit of stuff on the bottom, it smelled kind of like a wet dog, but not bad at all. So you could use this method first and then continue on to maceration, but honestly, no smell at all. No one's gonna notice. No one at all noticed the entire 45 days I had it sitting in my entrance. Not a single person realized that there was a skull cleaning right there. So thank you for watching. Do please consider subscribing if you learned a little bit of something today, and follow me on Instagram. I will be cleaning this up and I will post the final results of it nice and clean if you would like to check that out, and I'll have another video coming out next Monday. Thanks again guys for watching, appreciate it. Oh, and by the way, I am giving away a carved cow skull in the description of this video the first 24 hours after I publish it. So if it is October 22nd or the 23rd, check down below. There is a link to enter the giveaway. It's a skull I carved a while ago. It's a firefighter skull. So if that's something you're interested in, enter to win.